I'm Shannon and welcome to today's video. So today concludes the poll that I've been doing on the best and worst rooms of DVC at Walt Disney World, and today we are looking at the Grand Villas. So I have to tell you, I've never stayed in a Grand Villa, and I gotta be honest, I haven't even toured one. So we were scheduled to tour one at Riviera, and then we weren't, COVID. So we didn't get to tour it. So I haven't even seen one. I've only seen tours on YouTube, and I really relied on the My DVC Points community once again for their input, because we do have some lucky folks there that have stayed in more than one Grand Villa. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. So there are 9 resorts at Walt Disney World that have Grand Villas, and they all sleep 12. From what I can see, they all sleep 12. I have been wrong, so if I'm wrong, please put it in the comments and I will post it or pin it, because I have been wrong before and I was corrected on, I think, Copper Creek. I said slept 5 and it only sleeps 4 in a 1-bedroom. So feel free to correct me. I will tell you I am not always 100% correct. I try to be, but I do make errors. With that, so there are 9 resorts, and they all sleep 12. What I'm also going to do this time is I'm going to tell you the square footage of these Grand Villas. So nobody really gave input as far as why, so I really don't have input as to why certain ones. I kind of did a little bit of research, but I think a lot of it depends on the Grand Villa. It also depends on the resort. There are some that are definitely more luxe than others, but let's go ahead and get started. And the only one that didn't receive any votes is Kidani Village. Now again, doesn't mean it's a bad Grand Villa. I'm sure it is beautiful. And I think for this is a lot of them are all the way at the end. So maybe people are thinking that it's just a very, very long walk. Obviously they have a spectacular views of the savannah when you go all the way to the end, but that could be why, I'm not sure. But Kidani Village came in at number 9 with 0 votes. Number 8, again, probably not a surprise on this one, even though it just was refurbed and it had 2 votes, and that is Saratoga Springs. And I did forget to mention, so Kidani Village is 2,201 square foot, and then Saratoga Springs is 2,113 square feet. So it's a little bit smaller than the Kidani Village, and it actually is one of the smaller ones. So that's probably not a surprise that it did fall to number 8. Again, I think when you're talking about Grand Villas, if you're paying Grand Villa points, you're probably aiming for those higher luxe resorts. I think it's I've seen the pictures of the Grand Villas at Saratoga. They're beautiful. But again, it fell at number 8. Now, number 7 only had 1 extra vote, and that's 3 votes, and that is Boardwalk Villas. So Boardwalk Villas, I do know a little bit. I believe there's 7 Grand Villas, but 2 of them are 2-story. And I would have to go back to my video. So if my video that I did for touring plans on requesting a room or best and worst rooms, I did talk about the Grand Villas there. I know, well, I was able to find pictures of the 1-story Grand Villas at Boardwalk. They're all on the Boardwalk. There are 2 that are 2 stories, and I just can't find a video, pictures, nothing on them. And I did find a message board of people who'd stayed in them, and there were some things that they didn't like. Something with the stairs, and they just felt it really wasn't good if you had small children. So Boardwalk Villas ended up on number 7, and it is 2,142 square feet. So it's just a tad bit bigger than Saratoga Springs. It is right on the boardwalk, so it does overlook the boardwalk. But I think that also, not knowing if you're getting a 1-story or a 2-story Grand Villa could affect of whether or not you're going to book. Because if I were traveling with my mother-in-law, we absolutely could not get a 2-bedroom because she would not be able to climb upstairs. So maybe that's the factor of why it was low on the list. But again, some of the other ones are a little bit more luxe. So number 6 had 1 more vote, which was 4, and it is 2,375 square feet, and it is Old Key West. So like I said, 2,375. That puts it as number 3 as far as size-wise. But again, I think Old Key West, it's a beautiful, I've seen the pictures of it. It's a beautiful Grand Villa, but again, it's nothing to write home about. It's definitely very homey. I think it'd probably be a great space for family reunions, but because you'd have that proximity as far as your car and everything. But I think for grand villa purposes, it's not really grand. So Old Key West fell to number 6 in the grand villa category. Now, number 5 is Copper Creek Villas, and Copper Creek comes in at 2237 square feet, and this one had 8 votes, so it had double the amount of votes as Old Key West. And again, while it is a little smaller than Old Key West, I do have to say I think I would prefer the Grand Villa at Copper Creek over Old Key West, even though we're huge fans of Old Key West. It just looks really comfortable, really spacious. I think the design for the Grand Villas at Copper Creek are amazing. So not a surprise that Copper Creek came in at number 5. Now, number 4 came in with 9 votes, so just one more than Copper Creek, and that is Bay Lake Tower. Now, Bay Lake Tower actually has the smallest of the grand villas at Walt Disney World. It is 2,044 square feet, so it is the smallest, but again, beautiful layout, very, very modern. Again, I've only seen pictures, but it is spectacular. And then obviously you're going to have spectacular views of Magic Kingdom. Now again, yes, we weren't talking about views, but when you're talking about grand villas, you got to talk about the views, right? So not surprised that it comes in at number 4. Now, number 3 is the second largest of the grand villas, and personally, I thought this one was going to come in 1 or 2, and that is Riviera Resort. So Riviera, it is 2,500 square feet, and 2,530 square feet, and it came in at 10 votes, so just one more than Bay Lake Tower. Again, I've seen pictures. Chad from My DVC Points did a room tour, a live room tour, when he did a DVC tour when he was staying at Riviera. I think if you still go to Riviera, they are starting the room tour or the presentations at the Grand Villa. That's a way to get you in there. But I mean, it is spectacular. Like, talk about luxe. Like, if you're splurging on points for a Grand Villa, that or number 1 is where I'm going to want to stay. And it is just luxe. It's gorgeous. It's got a lot of amenities, just absolutely stunning. So our number 3 Grand Villa is the Riviera Resort. Okay, so our number 2 Grand Villa, this one was a surprise to me, but my understanding is there's a pool table, so maybe that's why. And it is the Grand Villa at Animal Kingdom Lodge, Jambo House. It came in with 12 votes, and it is 2,349 square feet. So it is less than Riviera, but again, you have that spectacular view of the Savannah. And like I said, I heard, not 100% sure, but I think that I did hear that there was a pool table in the Jambo House Grand Villa. So I could be wrong on that, but that could be why. And that honestly makes for making a Grand Villa feel like home, because if you have kids, it gives them something to play with. Not even kids, just anybody, but it just gives them something else to do. So number 2 Grand Villa was the Animal Kingdom Lodge Jambo House. And our number 1 DVC Grand Villa at Walt Disney World, to me, I don't think this was any surprise to anybody, and that is the Villas at Grand Floridian. It is the largest Grand Villas at 2,800 square feet. It had 16 votes, so it was the clear winner, and all I can say is 2 words: media room. It has its own media room in the Grand Villa. I think if I were ever to get upgraded or pixie dusted to get into a Grand Villa at Grand Floridian, I would probably just not even go to the parks. We would just chill, and I would invite anybody that wanted to come over and just hang out in the Grand Villa. Like, it is that spectacular. It is just beautifully decorated. Again, media room. And it's just got so much space. I think if you have the money and you have the points and you're looking to have like a week with family and friends, this is where you would want to stay. If they could say, invite 11 of your closest friends for a week at Disney World, where do you want to stay? I would say the Grand Floridian Grand Villa. So with that, definitely join our My DVC Points community. We have a lot of fun. I've been doing these polls. I have a couple other videos I'm working on. And if you have ideas for videos, please leave them in the comments below. I'm always looking for new ideas and new topics. And definitely join us on DVC Newscast. That's the definitely join us on DVC Newscast. That's the podcast that I co-host. So I try to not cover news topics on YouTube because they get outdated so quickly, but we do cover news topics on the podcast. So definitely join us on there. So with that, if you like this video, click like, click and subscribe. That way you get a notification every time I post a new video. Bye everyone.